Welcome to Joe Draws Again. I am Joe. I'm a professional artist for over 20 years. I worked in storyboarding, comics, illustration. As a concept artist, I have multiple sclerosis, ADHD, and anxiety. If those things are bothering me, I'll talk about it on this channel. I create artwork. Today, I am really at a loss because I'm doing a show that the artwork is due in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I can't remember, I gotta look it up, but it's called the Unicorn Art Show 10, and Otherworldly Arts is sponsoring it, and it's at the ALTR Gallery, which I have done 2 shows over the last 2 months for. This is the final Unicorn Art Show. I have done 3 or 4 of them before. Yeah, it's gonna be a special show because it is the last one. It's what started their whole journey, like the ALTR Gallery and Otherworldly Arts, and creating shows and everything. So I want to create a really nice piece for the show and for them. I need to figure out what I'm gonna draw. Today, I'm gonna just kind of try and get inspired to get an idea. So I'll be looking through art books, and here, let me just show you what I'm gonna look through. These books really give me a lot of inspiration. The film noir book here, it's just classic movie posters. They're just really fun. I've had a few things that have stood out to me over the years that I've taken from these and just had a lot of fun with. So I'll flip through here. Wayfinder by Greta Lunsky, and she's just super incredible artist that her compositions, just the attitude of all of her artwork, her characters that she does, is just so fun. I mean, look at this. Who doesn't love that? This awesome warrior. So she's really inspiring. Arcane, League of Legends for the animation. Who doesn't love this thing? This is an incredible art book that I've tried to get a hold of for a few months. Finally got it a few weeks ago and just want to dive into it. This is an incredible book full of tons of different inspiration types. Realms by Tony Ditterlizzi. I used that book to get inspiration for the last show, the tabletop art show that I just put artwork into, and then Loesch, who she is an incredible artist and does just amazing portraits. Both her and Greta do that. And so I'm gonna be flipping through these books and see what sparks. Yeah, I'll start a time lapse and flip through the books and hopefully something sparks. So I've really just started and I've already got a few really nice bits of inspiration. Just this really peaceful by Loesch. It's just a sketch of, obviously, you can see this, the lady sitting there drawing in her sketchbook or writing something in her sketchbook with a drink steaming to the side. And the composition, the feel, like I love Loesch because her colors and her mood, she kills. She's so good. This just made me think doing a elf with a scroll or some fantasy element character, just doing a similar thing. It just gave me a really quick inspiration and kind of an image in my head of something I could do. And the other book was time lapse, so it's speeding through, but I'll show you the 2 pieces that stood out to me. It's this one right here, nothing to do with guns or anything like that, just more fantasy. And the film noir, art noir book, it's just a composition of a large portrait. In front of that is possibly a warrior or a ranger, wizard, whatever, in front of that portrait. And the way that it's cropped and text and everything inspires, there's some possibility there. I don't know if I'm gonna go in that direction. It's probably the weakest inspiration I've had so far, but I just started and I've already got like 3 solid ideas in this one. Just a really nice composition. It's more graphic than I usually do and simplified. It's just got it's kind of striking. Well, obviously it's very striking because it catches at least my attention, and there's possibility there. Just doing something simple like zooming in on eyes and creating in the center of a larger piece an interesting composition around it that's graphic and just brings the viewer in, tells some kind of a story. Don't know what that story would be, but I just started and I've already got 3 ideas that I'll be kind of sketching out, and I'm excited about them. I had 0 going into this. I just know I collect books that inspire me, and when I'm drawing a blank, I look at the books and ideas just start flowing through my mind. I love art. I love great artists that inspire me, and I'm gonna keep flipping through these books. Flipping through these books, I found a few more images that are pretty inspirational. This image is just more the legs. If I made a creature more of a fawn, if I didn't go portrait. Also flipping through just the kind of serene of the character here, just with the wood and just that relaxed pose. It's just kind of fun, but I really enjoyed that when I was looking at it. And so this is the Tony Ditterlizzy book, Wayfinder, Art of Greta Lunsky. She had a couple images that I thought it was kind of fun. Looking at the octopus here, the hat that she had on her head. It's just kind of a fun idea. And then the witch with a drink from like a Starbucks or wherever, just that clear cup. And just the modern day with one of those things we see every day, but it's a witch with her hat and the birds on it and everything. A lot going on, a lot of storytelling. Just her army jacket, the patches, like there's so much going on in this image. So that one was really inspiring. And last up is the Arcane book. What inspired me with this is the Art Nouveau aspect of this. I love Art Nouveau. It just is a beautiful style and just the whimsy that you get with it and all the negative shapes between things. There's a ton in common with comics and Art Nouveau, but I love that. And then these little guys kind of remind me of a character that I created a few years back, that Trevor. He is a little furry character, adventurer that's a little terrified of going around, and made me think that maybe I should revisit Trevor and draw him. Just in here, what I liked was the image of the character design here with her hair, just with the different embellishments in the hair, the kind of jewelry, the way everything's done there. I really enjoyed that when I was looking through design of this part of the book. Every time I look through these books, there's a new thing that steps out and makes me want to go that direction. So next up, I'm gonna go set up and start sketching with all these ideas in mind. So things didn't go as planned. I looked at all that inspiration and then had other obligations I needed to do for a couple days. And then I came back, tried drawing. Drawings weren't really turning out how I hoped, because that initial inspiration or energy you get, like when you have an idea, if you don't jump on it right away, it can kind of become, I don't know, just a little bit difficult to recapture that energy and want to fulfill that initial idea that I had, or ideas, because I had a few different ones. Upon returning to it, I just don't have the same excitement for it. That deadline for the Unicorn Art Show 10 is approaching. I need to finish a piece for it, and what I thought through looking some of my older pieces is that there's an unfinished piece that I did 5 years ago for Unicorn Art Show 5, I believe it was, that I never finished because it just wasn't turning out great. And so I'm gonna jump back into that and see if I can get that to a place where I like it. And yeah, it needs work, but I'm willing to do the work because I think that it has potential. This is the piece. I called it the Royal Dragon. You can see, I spent a bunch of time doing the anatomy, come on, there we go. And drawing her out, putting the big dragon behind her, flame, doing elements in front. The composition just wasn't thrilling me. Some of the colors, the background colors, just dragon color, I don't know. It just needed needed work, and way back when I originally did this, anything I did to it didn't quite fix the issue, and at the time I just was like, you know what, I need to walk away and start something else. And I did other pieces of artwork. Been a while, and I think there's potential, and so I started working on it a little bit ago, and so this is kind of what it's looking like at the moment. What I've done so far, obviously I made the dragon smaller, like comparing this. I brought him to the side and I made her larger in the image. So kind of playing with that. And then the background color, I went in and did an adjustment layer for the hue saturation. So taking away from that purple color, which I wasn't super pleased about, make it a little reddish, a little warmer tone than that purple. And I'm liking the look of that. I went into this dragon, and where are you, dragon? All right. So dragon brought it from this kind of greenish color, the kind of teal, turquoisey, and brought it to this, and there's another hue adjustment layer, and I much like this color combo better. I'm gonna go back into it and color on top of it to do some darker blue shadows within the mouth, but I think this is a lot kind of cooler for the color combination, and the flames don't match up at the moment, so I'm gonna have to go in there, adjust where the flames are coming out of the mouth because of all the changing of sizes for the different elements. And Past Joe created a lot of layers, and not all of them are necessary, so I need to clean this up a little bit more than I already have. But going into it, like, I've already done a little bit of work on her face compared to this one. Just, you might not notice a ton of it, but it's still pretty much the same, but I adjusted her lips, and yeah, just changing it up. And her cheekbones I raised up a little bit more, shadows I'm altering, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep rolling with this and creating more depth and shadows, also changing some of the shadows on her neck. Things weren't quite where I wanted them, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on it. I'll start a time lapse. Also, this crown, it's a crown, but I'd like it a little cooler. Maybe I'll design that a little bit better. Do some of that Art Nouveau inspiration that, you know, when I saw that one piece, Art Nouveau it and make it a little taller, a little bit more of that organic swoopy lines and everything to it. It could be pretty fun. So I'm excited to see where that goes. Yeah, I'll keep cleaning things up and altering the drawings. Scepter, I need to change that. I'm not a fan of that scepter. Yeah, there's a bunch of work to do, so I'm just gonna start doing it. Yeah, should be fun. So I made a decision. I'm going to walk away from this piece. There's still a full week of work that I would have to do to redraw certain things. I think her pose is kind of a little boring. It's a little stiff. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's not inspiring. There's a reason that I walked away 5 years ago, and it needs a lot more redrawing and rework. And yeah, I wasn't able to get it done to a point that I was comfortable putting in the show, so I am walking away from doing this upcoming show, which, you know, I regret. I really would have liked to have a piece in there, but I'm okay with not continuing this piece. Maybe I'll come back to it in another 5 years. I don't know. It's gonna kind of sit on my computer because I'm gonna move back to the comic, because, you know, one of the reasons this wasn't pulling me into it is, yeah, the pose just wasn't getting me. There was just different elements. It just seemed really boring, and yeah, I never got pulled into it. The whole process of figuring out an idea for this show, I never had anything that really clicked and made me excited to like jump into it and really work really hard to get it done and just be pumped about it. The last 2 shows, I did 2 pieces I was really happy with. This one, I just couldn't figure something out, so I decided to go back into an old piece to rework, which is this, and it's still just, it wasn't grabbing me. So making the decision, like I said, I'm gonna walk away from this one, which is fine. It happens. I'm okay not having this as a finished piece. And I am going to move back to the garlic tarts, my comic. So my next video is going to be that. You know, this is a different video because I worked really hard. I documented me trying to figure out an idea and taking a lot of steps trying to get excited about making a piece. And I hope it's not disappointing watching it, seeing me not really like finish something, because I'm not gonna finish this piece. This is where it came to. I'm okay, it's fine, not moving on. Sometimes you just have to see like, or think about how much time you would have to still spend in order to finish a piece, and is it worth your time? Like, what's the end result? And the end result is no longer gonna be in a show. I'm okay with that. Hope you enjoyed at least watching the process of me trying to figure it out. And I know where I'm going with the garlic tarts, my comic coming up. That's pretty straightforward, and I'm very excited to get back to drawing those characters. So thank you so much for watching, and I very much appreciate it. Hope you understand why I'm walking away from this piece, and I will see you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, cheers. See you in the next one.